Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having a wonderful day. Leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing helps out the channel immensely. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Axie Infinity jumps by over 40% in price. Bitcoin drops by 0.75%, and Solana drops by 2.47% as well. Following the gigantic increases in cryptocurrency prices over the last couple of weeks, prices are, at least today, calming down a tiny bit. This is quite normal, and this is actually quite nice. If we see that prices are continuously rising every single day by 10, 15, 25%, it's usually a very big indication that our market is overheated and is going to begin falling quite rapidly very soon. However, when we see that prices are rising over the course of 2 to 3 days and take a day off and start to trend sideways and or don't go up over the course of the entire 24-hour period, this is exactly what we are actually looking for. We do not want a consistent increase because it means that things have gotten, once again, way too hot and they're going to be falling in the near future. So, the really weird part is that the Axie Infinity news was kind of all over the place as far as like the price rising, which didn't really make a lot of sense. If you're not looking at the screen, it says Axie Infinity's monthly player count has dropped to a low not seen since November 2020. So there are people using Axie Infinity. However, the number has rapidly declined from its previous glory of wherever it might have been. There are only, and I say that lightly, only a few thousand people around the world using Axie Infinity every single day, as opposed to the suspected 30, 40, 50, 100,000 actual people who people thought were using it, but they are actually not. And since then, the price has also risen. But there are a few coins in the market, none of which I will name, that their metrics have actually gone down, and even fewer people are using them. However, their prices are also rising as well with the rest of the market. There's one in particular that we had news before that the amount of developers on said coin was now only, I believe, less than 20. And that coin's price has also risen quite rapidly in the last 3 weeks, even when there was also just recently news that it's still below 50. So a lot of times, not everything makes exact sense in the cryptocurrency space. You're going to notice a very clear trend topic in the news today that has to do with basically one coin. It says Bitcoin's price analysis. This factor is driving Bitcoin's unstoppable rise to $30,000. It's the idea of the Fed interest rate hike. This is what's fueling everything. If you have not been paying attention, if you haven't been here recently, or if you simply haven't been watching traditional, normal television news, everyone now in the investing space understands that the Fed is going to raise interest rates again. I believe the next time is on the 1st of February. However, they have indicated, and we have heard multiple times, once they get to 5%, that is going to be the last time this year that they raise interest rates. We are at 4.25% slash 4.5. It just takes one more rise like the ones that we had last year, and then they're done. When they're done, that means markets are going to explode. And this is what we've been seeing over the course of all markets since the beginning of this year. There's a huge amount of optimism. We've gone over the numbers before. A lot of people do believe that we are going to be hitting a $30,000 to $35,000 Bitcoin sometime in February. This seems to be the number that's constantly floating around. you'll also see the rest of the news right now. It says this Bitcoin on-chain reading confirms the rally is just getting started. A lot of them are talking about, I'm sure we'll also pick up to it as well. A lot of them are talking about, like I mentioned before, the overheating of the market. We are not seeing currently any of that, which is a very good thing for the cryptocurrency market. We are seeing that there is interest. We're seeing that the amount of leveraged positions is also dropping as well, as a lot of people usually tend to over leverage, and they've been getting wiped out of the market as prices have been rising. Bitcoin bulls keep pushing. Why Bitcoin's price increase isn't over yet. Everyone is under the mindset, the idea that Bitcoin is going to continue rallying. We're getting numbers of the imminent $2,000 Ethereum price. A lot of people are suspecting that by the time we get to the Shanghai upgrade sometime in March, that we should be seeing a $3,000 Ethereum, with the indications that the idea being a large portion of people are going to be staking their coins on Ethereum to get passive income from it. And therefore, the more coins that are locked up, the more coins that are burned. You kind of get the idea. Ethereum's deflationary, yada, yada, yada. The price rises simply because there's not a lot flowing around in the ecosystem. It says Bitcoin's price rally is just the beginning, as indicators reveal crypto market is not overheated. Cryptocurrency's overall market cap has once again surpassed $1 trillion thanks to Bitcoin and Ethereum, who emerged as overnight winners. After a significant bear market dip, the price of Bitcoin has started to rise. Here's a chart right here. It says crypto market in 2023, looking at the open interest and leverage ratio. They have fallen sharply since the FTX incident, and despite the recent rally in Bitcoin, these two indicators still haven't overheated at all. And I tried to enlarge it a little bit right here. If we see at any point, so basically what the chart is showing more or less is that Bitcoin will, if Bitcoin continuously rises right now and we get to a $35,000, $40,000 Bitcoin by the middle of February, that's overheated. But where we currently are, everything looks pretty hunky-dory. So we'll see exactly how things unfold. I told you you would see the trend. The trend is basically everyone's talking about that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to continue to rise based on 38,000 pieces of analysis. But the main important one is that the interest has risen back in the cryptocurrency space. People are throwing money back into the market as they previously did before. Everyone's waiting for the interest rate rise to happen. And then after that, yeah, that's basically all she wrote, because everyone's got, I mean, listen, you've seen what's happened in the last 3 weeks. This is in a very clear message right here. You've seen what's been going on. When we get news that the Fed is done and they won't do anything else for the rest of the year, prices everywhere are going to go completely insane. I have a friend who works at a bank, and they were like, just imagine if at any point at the end of this year or next year, the Fed announces that they're even lowering interest rates. It's going to be a free-for-all. I made another video on this before talking about like how much money people are going to be making. It's going to be absolute insanity, especially after about a year and a half of prices falling down for everything. It's going to get quite wild. Anyway, that's the Bitcoin's rally is just getting started. Bitcoin's price increase isn't over yet. Ethereum's almost to $2,000, and Bitcoin's price rally is just getting started, as the crypto market is not overheated news. And yeah, let's move on. In one of the largest news stories of the day, Cardano staking pool operators, or SPOs, and users have reported at least half of the nodes for the network briefly went offline over the weekend. According to a post on the 22nd of January, shared on Telegram, SPO for Input Output Global, the engineering and research in fintech firm, behind the Cardano blockchain, announced that there was an anomaly caused by 50% of their nodes to disconnect and then restart. Here's the tweet for it right here. It said, last night during the anomaly on the Cardano network, the entire network did not go down. There was a brief period of degradation. Most nodes impacted had gradually recovered. No network restart was required. I saw a bunch of people announcing that this was very similar to, or was the exact same thing that happened to Solana. One, these were validating nodes on Cardano that went down briefly. Apparently, they were sharing information that had already been shared. That's the news that I've been getting, and therefore they were kind of confused, slowed down, and then came back up to life. Solana itself fell apart and stopped working. Right. The people who are running Solana, the centralized team, actually had to restart the Solana database because that's what it is. You cannot restart a blockchain. You can restart nodes, but you cannot start an entire blockchain. That's not a blockchain. That is Windows 95. So there's a major difference in all of this that's happening. Here's the rest of the tweet. It says this appears to have been triggered by a transient anomaly causing two reactions in the nodes. Some disconnected from a peer, others through an exception and restarted. The post read while explaining the sudden disruption. Despite a momentary degradation, the Cardano network recovered without external intervention. As explained, without external intervention. I repeat one more time. There was no restarting of the blockchain because why? You can't restart a blockchain. So anyway, this was very popular news. A lot of people were talking about it. I knew that I would have to talk about it because, one, I knew that people would see this and assume that this was the same exact thing that Solana had gone through. Two, no, I told all of you before, Solana is actual garbage, and I'm not sure how anyone is still using that project, that coin, that database. I am really concerned with a lot of people throwing all their money back into Solana, assuming that it's going to do something when it crashed 10 times last year. And three, these were validating nodes that slowed down, restarted, and everything appears to be back to normal. That's the Cardano stake pool operators and users reported that nodes briefly went offline over the weekend. And yeah, let's move on. Also in popular news, Gokhshtein, I have no idea how to say his name, Gokhshtein, who's a media founder, wrote in a tweet yesterday, or rather joked, that he would be deleting his Twitter account and basically retiring if Shiba Inu ever went to 1 cent. For those of you who don't know the mythology, Shiba Inu was created, you all know this, after Dogecoin. And the idea is that a lot of people believe that at some point it is going to hit 1 cent. Why do they believe it's going to hit 1 cent? Because that was the mythological number for Dogecoin. Dogecoin can never go to 1 cent. Oh, snap, it hit 1 cent, and then it went to 70 cents, yada, yada, yada. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has a very large circulating supply, gigantic. And this is why you hear all the time that people are trying to burn as many coins as possible, because mathematically, if enough coins are burned, it will eventually get to 1 cent per coin. That's just logic. I don't know what else to really throw inside there. He said, and I quote, "Shib, please hit 1 cent so I can delete this Twitter account. Thanks." And here's the tweet for it right here. By deleting his Twitter account, Gokhshtein might mean retiring and relaxing for the rest of his life if SHIB reaches 1 cent. It also indicates that the former U.S. congressional candidate, holds a substantial amount of SHIB and is optimistic about its price. And there was also someone else who didn't understand what was going on. It says, notably, here's the easy part. The suggested price move, in order for for Shiba Inu to get to 1 cent, it would represent a staggering 82,000. That's right, 82,000, a price surge from the current levels. And I'm sure that someone just threw their hands up and said, well, that's never going to happen. Those numbers don't make any sense. However, the doggy-themed coin actually rose by 46 million % in 2021. Yeah, see, this is right. That's the other point. So there was, I remember this years ago. There was news. There was some person, I'll be nice, who was announcing that Bitcoin could never rise to 100,000. It's not possible. There's none of it. You can't do this. You can't so and so. He's like, that would constitute this much increase in price. Bitcoin can never do a 6, 7, 8x from where it currently is. It's just never going to happen. And then people found out that since Bitcoin's inception, when it first began, I think it rose, what was it, like 12 million %? It's some odd, like, million % number. Many of the coins have done it. It's just that people who aren't into cryptocurrencies don't understand that these numbers are actually possible. When you hear that we're a brand new space, it's not because people like the idea of being brand new. It's like, no, there's tons of room for movement. We know that it's possible for XRP to hit $5 or $10 because we've hit $3 before. The idea of us doing a 17,000% price increase across certain coins isn't insane because we've been there many times before. I knew there was one more many in there. It is worth noting that not all took the tweet from Goldstein lightheartedly. Caleb Franson, okay, a market analyst, pointed out that the entrepreneur's target price was impractical, and it would suggest that Shiba Inu would need a market cap of $5.9 trillion. I don't understand how this person doesn't understand how Shiba Inu works at this point. You can't sit there and talk about that hitting $5.9 trillion is impractical because they're not trying to hit $5.9 trillion. The point is they're trying to burn around 90+% of the circulating supply of Shiba Inu. Everyone knows that Shiba Inu is not going to a $5.9 trillion market cap. That's almost 4 or 5 times how big Apple currently is. The idea is that if Shiba Inu's current market cap is 6.6 billion, which is where it currently is, if you burn 90% of the coins, Shiba Inu can easily go to 13, 14, maybe even a good $17 billion during the course of a really big market surge. And because there are so many fewer coins, I don't have to explain anymore. I hate when people write stupid stuff online. No one, Caleb Franson, whoever you are, wherever you are, no one on this planet is waiting for Shiba Inu to hit a $5.9 trillion market cap. I just don't understand. Anyway, this was very popular because David Goldstein apparently is super popular as well. I don't read any of his tweets, but God bless him. I hope he does amazingly well in his monetary endeavors. And also people were like, oh, snaps, he's going to be able to retire from Shiba Inu, which I'm certain a lot of people will be able to do so. For those of you who, if this is your first rodeo, I will be here my best to try and warn you when the market does get too overheated. That is to say, historically in the cryptocurrency space, when we do have major bull runs, and prices get a little insane, a lot of people out there usually do have the capacity to actually retire from how much crypto they have at that moment. But most people tend to think that maybe the market will triple or quadruple once more and that they'll make even more money and then they don't cash out. So I'll try and be here to remind you at some point, hey, if you have 400K, you know, that buys you a house, that buys you multiple investment properties. So, you know, anyway, we'll get there at some point. So I'll try and be here to guide you and make sure that, you know, your feet are on the ground. That's the David Goldstein is talking about Shiba hitting 1 cent so he can delete his Twitter and potentially retire news. And yeah, let's move on. There we go. I couldn't find the mouse. Oh, yeah, sorry. This also equates into it as well. For those of you who don't know, just very quickly, it says Ethereum whales accumulate a staggering $422 million, roughly $500 million, worth of Shiba Inu in less than 1 week. They basically go together. For those of you who don't know, Shiba Inu is like the most popular crypto on the planet, and there's always a huge amount of accumulation and coin burn. So I guess, it ties in with him being like, can you please go to 1 cent? Anyway, all right. Moving along. Also in very popular news, Vitalik Buterin, the creator of ETH, mentioned the major challenge that he believes is currently facing Ethereum and how he wants to resolve it. In a new blog post, Buterin pointed out that privacy is the major challenge that the Ethereum network currently faces, which is making a notable portion of people's public life for everyone to see. The original mantra, the original ideas of crypto, I hope that they are not rapidly fading. We need them back. The first one is decentralization above all. A lot of people are forgetting that, and they're throwing their money into crappy projects that continuously fail. 2, the other idea was that from the very beginning is what we would now call, or then called, private transactions. The idea for Ethereum, the idea for Bitcoin, the idea for Litecoin, which Litecoin is the only coin that now has this with Mimblewimble, is to have completely private transactions. The idea of Ethereum as a world computer is for you to be able to use the world computer at your behest anytime that you wish, under the gigantic umbrella of privacy. You would be able to do what you want, post what you want, write what you want, see what you want, do what you want on Ethereum, this new world computer, at any given time. However, that's not the case. And yeah, Vitalik Buterin said by default, anything that goes onto a public blockchain is public. What? Increasingly, this means not just money and financial transactions, but also Ethereum name services, names, proof of attendance protocols, NFTs, soulbound tokens, and everything else. In practice, using the entire suite of Ethereum applications involves making a significant portion of your life public for everyone to see and analyze. Improving this state of affairs is an important problem, and this is widely recognized. So far, however, discussions on improving privacy have largely centered around one specific use case: privacy-preserving transfers and using self-transfers of ETH and mainstream ERC20 tokens. He suggested the best way to tackle this is by stealth addresses, stating that crypto wallets can enable users to leverage stealth addresses by making it an option for them when initiating transactions. This was very big news. Anytime that any large founder of a blockchain announces that they see an issue in their blockchain, everyone kind of goes, a problem? It's more of a, this is something that should have been initiated and activated many years ago. I think they were not, simply because regulators began to look over the shoulders of the people who were creating these things, trying to see what they were doing in essence. So a lot of this could not be implemented. This is why we also saw a lot of backlash last year when Litecoin finally got completely private transactions, and a lot of people were like, we're going to stop using it. There was even one, they're so stupid. There was even one crypto exchange who delisted Litecoin because they were like, we can't be a part of that, not realizing that the Litecoin privacy transaction thing is basically an on and off switch where you can literally turn it on to have private transactions and also click off so that they're no longer private. Anyway, this was very popular news. Vitalik Buterin talking about the largest remaining challenge for Ethereum. There's also, for those of you not looking at the screen, there's like a very sad photo. It looks like he's looking into a fish tank that has broken, and he's wiping it down while he's sad, and he's picking up the pieces. I don't understand. It's a very intense photo, but I guess it's supposed to show how dramatic all of this is for all of us. I'm not really certain. So at some point we will all have completely private transactions on everything, on every blockchain, at least the decentralized ones. So cool. We'll get it eventually. I think it's not the most important thing. I think we need to get Shanghai. I think we need to have over 100,000 transactions per second on Ethereum. And is that it? I feel like that's it. What else are we really missing from Ethereum at this point? I think 100,000 transactions and staking back and forth would, that definitely, that does the job. That's the Vitalik Buterin SAD wiping. Oh, there's also cobwebs. Wow, I didn't even see. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Let's move on. Also in the news, it says Donald Trump's NFTs have made a resurgence as they've seen a daily spike of over 800% in the last 24 hours. For those of you who aren't aware, NFTs are making a rapid resurgence. I mentioned this to a lot of you before when we saw prices dropping over the course of the last year. This is why I made many videos, some on this channel, a lot on the others, where I was telling people about the NFTs that I was buying. The way that it works is when the stock market begins to do excessively well, a lot of the extra money begins to slosh into the cryptocurrency space. Cryptocurrency prices begin to rise. However, what always ends up happening is people are looking for other very quick ways to make money, very liquid ways to make money. And another very liquid market, even during the market downturn, was the NFT space. So we are going to start to get a lot more news about, NFT projects that are doing very well. Like you just saw, the Donald Trump one is up by 800%. I don't know how much more you actually need. The big catalyst that we are going to see is when people begin to sell these NFTs for 15, 20, 30,000 a piece. When we hear that the stuff on VV that was once $2, a lot of it is at $6, $7 now. I told you that the prices would at least triple. So they're once again back where they were. And also when we start hearing that stuff on VV is once again selling for $10, $15, $20,000 consistently. It says NFT market sales climbed by 16%, 43.48% increase in buyers in the third week of this year. It's going to get real very, very fast. So just don't say that I did not tell you. That's the nicest way of saying it. NFTs are going to resurge very, very quick. The prices are going to get very, very high. And I think another catalyst for that is going to be, sorry, I'm stretching. Oh gosh, my back, it hurts so much. Oh, geez, that made it even worse. Oh, gosh. Another thing that's going to really propel the space forward is when Facebook's metaverse finally launches, and whenever sometime in spring, for those of you who watched CES 2023, it's expected or rumored that once again, Apple's virtual reality, augmented reality headset is going to be launching sometime in spring of this year. That is going to push everyone forward back into NFTs, especially if we get any news, that there's any kind of interoperability with Ethereum on Apple's headset. Game over. I'm warning you right now. That's the NFT market sales have begun to go back up. News. And yeah. Oh, also, thank you to everyone out there who purchases my NFTs. I wanted to throw that out there. I'm giving you a high five. I'm actually giving you a high five. I look crazy to my neighbors. And yeah, let's move on. Also in Logic news, I don't really know. It says, while cryptocurrency fans holding staked Ethereum eagerly are awaiting the network's next upgrade, crypto exchange Coinbase could also have a lot to look forward to. This is, of course, according to JP Morgan Chase. For those of you who don't know, JP Morgan Chase, wink, doesn't like Bitcoin, but they openly love Ethereum. They're also part of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and have been since like 2017, 2018. The next upgrade to Ethereum's network, known as Shanghai, is slated for March and will let people access their funds that have been previously devoted to the Beacon chain, which allows people to deposit their coins. However, they can't really take them out. Staking Ethereum could become a significant windfall for Coinbase if its users are automatically enrolled like they are with tokens such as Cardano and Solana. JP Morgan analysts wrote in a recent report, they said staking in Ethereum forced holders to lock up their Ether individually, indefinitely, within the network. So you can put it in, but you can't take it out, which we have viewed as a big disincentive to stake Ether historically. We think the Shanghai fork could usher in a new era of staking for Coinbase. I mentioned to this all of you before. We've gone over this several, maybe even 1,000 times. The idea why people are so excited about Shanghai is not only to be able to take their staked Ether out. The idea is that when we finally hear, because every crypto exchange, they've announced relative support for the staking of Ether, but none of them have been like, hey guys, now we have this. You can now do this on our platform. When everyone knows that all they have to do is just stake their Ether, it's the same with every other staking coin. The reason why Ether is in the biggest news is because it's the number 2 coin. A lot of people have Ether. They have fragments of Ether. A lot of people have been working towards getting 32 Ether. When people know that they can just simply put it there and get a guaranteed return from the second largest blockchain, it is going to be absolutely gigantic. The investment bank estimates, here we go, that 95% of retail investors, 95% of everyday normal people on Coinbase will be staking their Ether after the Shanghai fork, which could yield Coinbase between $225 and $545 million in revenue per year just from their staking fees. This was also quite popular. Anytime JP Morgan or Bank of America or any major bank says anything about crypto, negative or positive, people end up being quite excited. So when you hear that JP Morgan Chase, who historically has been wink anti-Bitcoin, talk about how this is going to basically, and that's just for Coinbase alone. That's not Kraken. That's not Gemini. That's not Binance, etc., etc. I'm expecting very big things. I don't know about everyone else. I also mentioned to everyone else before, I will be staking. I will most certainly be staking. That's the Coinbase. Ethereum Shanghai upgrade. JP Morgan has a bullish outlook on it. News. And yeah, let's move on. In news, but I don't, so this was actually, oddly enough, the most popular news story of the day. I wish I was joking. Signature Bank, the bank is called Signature Bank, will no longer be handling transactions of less than $100,000 for cryptocurrency exchange customers. This is according to a statement from Binance. Binance said in a statement emailed to CoinDesk that Signature Bank has told the company that it will no longer support any of its cryptocurrency exchange customers with buying and selling amounts of less than $100,000 as of the 1st of February. And that this would be true for all Signature crypto exchange clients. As a result, some individual users might not be able to use SWIFT bank transfers to purchase or sell digital assets with or for US dollars for smaller amounts. So the news is, and I want to know why this became so popular, because I think that it's one thing, but I'm hoping that it's another, but I don't think that it is the other. I'll explain. The news is that a crypto-friendly bank, if you will, has now announced that any amount less than $100,000 flowing in or out of a cryptocurrency exchange, they will no longer be handling those transactions. One, and I'll say this how I want to say it, who cares? Two, I don't understand why they would be doing this to themselves, simply because it only makes people not want to use banks more. Three, there's going to be another bank that's going to be chosen by Binance, and they're going to get all the money that Signature Bank isn't getting. Why would you make sure that you make less money and that you want to give your business over to someone else? I'm not really understanding. Four, this only once again leads us down the road of we should not even be thinking of using banks anymore because of things like this. We also don't even really have to use banks anymore, but that was about 300 videos before where I had a whole ranting thing and I was trying to explain it to people. So this was by far the most popular news story of the day. I think a lot of people, for them, it was popular because it's another bank who's like, we don't want to work with crypto people. But I think it's just dumb on their part. I don't understand the restrictions of something like that. I don't think that many people were trying to transfer 14 cents at one time into Binance. I assume most transfers were anywhere between $500 to a couple of low $1,000 as people were buying cryptocurrencies. I sincerely don't get it, but also I honestly don't care because one, Swift is a messaging system from the 1970s, and we should not be using when we're talking about Apple releasing an augmented reality glasses that will literally allow us to see the internet walking around us at all times. The idea of us still trying to use a 1970s messaging system that takes days for money to transfer. Why is that even still a thing? I don't understand. So I saw the news and I get it. I can read English, but this isn't anything that's actually going to affect any of us, not even in the short or long term. Even if you're using Binance and have been using Signature Bank, there's going to be another bank who's definitely going to be happy to process and transact your money because banks usually want other people's money. I don't get why this is even a thing. So anyway, that's the Binance not being able to Binance money anymore because of Signature Bank news. Sure, why not? Live your best life. Try not to make money. I don't get what this is supposed to even be. All right. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. On Crypto with Lionel, Tigera Machonisa, Bake Me a Cake, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Yes to Crypto, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Garner, Paxis, Setsuna, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Bankroll Network, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Adam Graysick, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Nostromo, Moonman High XRP, Utopia 569, Navarro Williams, Pater Noster, Nita Miracle, Space Case, Troy Allgood, Quarterbitty, Lauren De Silva, VB Nerd 21, Mo Barazi, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, The Dealer's Den, Arachno Dave, Bitcoin Ben, Roman Geba, Empire Queen, and let's move on. Jamie Saad, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Crypto Gambino, Mandy Cryptos, Dotha Diddy, Sam Ratter, Bodie McBoatface, and Martin Steuer. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members as well. I do see you. Hello. I get the email notifications whenever there is a new Patreon member. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 22,769 US dollars. It is down by 0.36%. It was a midnight slam down. I don't know what that's even supposed to be there. It was a movement down. It quickly recovered. Anything really breaking the trend? XRP is up by 4.25%. There was no XRP news. I assume this is off of excitement from the potential at some point end of the lawsuit. Dogecoin is up by 4.5%. But where's Cardano? Oh, yeah, Cardano is only down by a tiny bit as well. Polkadot is up by 1%. Avalanche is up by 3.6%. Link is up by 3% as well. Ethereum Classic is up by 5%. Lumens is up by 3.4%. Near Protocol is up by 8.9%. ApeCoin is up by 4.9%. Algorand is up by 3.4% as well. Filecoin is up by 4%. Internet Computer is up by 4%. Flow Token is flowing up. It is up by 10 percentile points right now as well. EOS is up by 4%. There's no EOS news. I'm not even understanding how that's. Axie Infinity is up by 41% on less people using it. If only the world made sense. And Phantom Token is up by 11 percentile points as well. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a very tiring, strenuous one. It was, you know how like, have you ever had a weekend that's 2 days long, but it feels like it's like 26 days long and just won't end? That was my weekend. A little tiring. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do sincerely hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, commenting, subscribing, supporting, or even just still being here listening to me talk about this weird market. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.